Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam here. I was originally going to make this a short, but I like to talk, so full video. But I will try to get through this as quickly as I can. It's mid-year, and I've been seeing a lot of best of the year so far lists with video games and movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So thought I'd share one of my lists, and specifically on video games. So I'm going to give you my top five video games of the year so far. Anyone who is over 25 can tell you that obviously I haven't finished all of these games. We start and we stop because adulting always gets in the way, but I have played enough of them for me to form my opinion. Just giving you that little, FYI there. Before I get to my top five, I do want to talk about some games that are TOA. If you know what that means, it means trash on arrival. I didn't want to make a full video about games that are anything really that I've hated because I'm trying to be more positive, but I can't let these two slide. I only have two. The first one, South Park Snow Day. I actually didn't know this game was coming out. I saw it on Steam. I immediately just clicked down or buy and installed it. I loved Stick of Truth way more than I thought I would, and I really enjoyed the Fractured But Whole. So I got this, the next game in the sequence. You are still playing as the same character. I think they call him New Kid. It's still funny, but they changed up the gameplay. It's not the animation style is completely different. And it's 3D rather than like the 2D turn-based games that we know and love from the first two. So the look immediately turned me off just because I wanted it to look more like, the cartoon instead of like this cel-shaded 3D thing that we got. But then really it's just a gameplay. It's clunky. The camera's your enemy. It's not fun. It's very boring actually. And it's not well made. It feels like this was somehow rushed. And to say disappointed would be an understatement. I was devastated by this game. And then the next one, I really shouldn't be surprised by this. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I mean, I knew this game was going to be bad from the moment I first saw it. So I really shouldn't be surprised that I got it and I hated it. I mean, you got to shoot people in the feet to get health. What game makes you do that? So, like, that's really all you need to know. It was bad. Everything that you thought you knew about this game from the trailers was confirmed. It's not fun. It's bad. No characters feel unique. It's boring. It's. I mean, the story itself isn't even like justifiably good enough for me to recommend you going on YouTube and watching this. This was just a trash game from a good studio, which is just very surprising. So that's probably the biggest disappointment of the year so far. It might be the biggest disappointment of the year, period. Now, I'm going to do some honorable mentions before I get to my list. These are games that I liked but didn't love as much as my top five. They include Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney Trilogy. It came out for PC. I love those games, and I really liked this. Helldivers 2. I got into that, and it is very addicting. I see why people loved it, and yeah, Sony done messed up with that one. We can do a whole episode on that. WWE 2K24, the first WWE 2K game I've played in I don't know how long, but I enjoyed it way more than I thought it would. My brother actually got this game, and I played with him, and that game is fun. It is real fun. Rise of the Ronin, which I liked the story, and some of the missions are really good, but I'm also playing Ghost of Tsushima for the first time, so I mean, it was just bad timing for that game. And then Immortality that came out on PS5. Fantastical tale that is it's super creepy. If you actually played and beat that game, hit me up. We need to talk about it. Okay, so my top five. Now, I didn't know I was going to make this video, so unfortunately I don't have too much gameplay, but I'll try to throw some like trailer footage in here. My number one and my number five are very deliberate. I put them there for reasons that I'll tell you. But my 2 through 4, those could be in any order, really. Okay. So my number five, Hades 2. This game is number five, literally only because it is currently still in like early access or limited release, whatever they call it. So the full game isn't out yet, but enough of it is. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I like this more than I like the first one. And the first one was my surprise hit when it came out. It was actually bought for me as a gift because I've never really played. That was the first roguelike game I've played, and everyone was talking about it. So my friends, bought it for me. They're like, "You got to play this game," and I got it on the Switch, and my Switch started coming with me everywhere. I played the heck out of that game. I loved the story. I loved the gameplay. I loved everything about it. I loved the art. I loved everything about it. And this game continues that. It's beautiful. It's so much fun to play. And, the lore is still good as well. So if you haven't played the first one, well, you need to play it. You need to. And then come play this one. I think it's currently only on a PC, I believe, at the time of this recording. So that's kind of the one detriment to it. But oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Very much recommend that. My number 4, I'll go with Beyond Good and Evil, the 20th anniversary edition. So this game, I guess, first came out in 2004. I played this, and I did beat this game. And I see why it has such the following that it does, and why people are so looking forward to the sequel, which is in development hell right now. Yeah. Very, very good game. Very fun game. Just, it felt like it took me back. It felt like a typical early 2000s adventure game. So really dug that. And I'm glad I'm glad it was released and I got a chance to play it, remastered essentially. For my number 3, I will go with Hi-Fi Rush. Joey actually recommended this game. I didn't know this game was a thing. And yeah. It's an action adventure game, and it's like I love it. I love it. You do play. It's only about 10 hours long, so I did beat this one too. And it has like a cartoonish art style to it. The gameplay is very tight, very fun. The controls work as you'd expect them to work. But the best thing about this is like the soundtrack that goes along with you as you play this game. It never gets old. It through the 10 or 11 hours I played, I had a smile on my face the whole time. Like, this is just a fun game. Like, it's a game that was made for fun. And yeah, man, I had a really good time with this. Totally unexpected. So very pleasant surprise. I'm really happy that I got to play this one. Number 2, that will bring us to Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Now, this was another game that I knew existed, but I actually didn't plan to play. The only Prince of Persia game I really did plan to play was the remake that I don't know when we're getting that of Sands of Time, because that was one of my favorite. I got it on the GameCube when it first came out, and I played it so many times. But this one, very, again, pleasantly surprised by it. I got this one on the Switch. You play as, there's a new prince. You go to an island with your team, and you have like powers in this one, and the gameplay, the combat, the platforming, it's just all so A1. It's clutch, man. I love it switches between 2D and 3D at some points. The level design is fun. Like, there are certain, like, the island kind of like messes with time a little bit. So there are certain, like puzzles that have to deal with that. Not yet trying to give away too much, even though the game's been out for a while. I might do a full review on this one because I actually did really like this. But my number 1, best game of the year so far, that's probably going to be, it's definitely going to be in my top 5 anything of the year, Tekken 8. This game is, I don't say this, like, I'm not exaggerating. It's pretty much perfect. It has no flaws. You know how sometimes you're playing, you're like, oh my gosh, the game's not doing what I wanted to do. That if something doesn't happen in this game, it is actually your fault this time. The controller didn't mess you up, the game didn't mess you up. It has some of the best controls of any Tekken or fighting game I've ever played. The story in this, I was so disappointed with the story in 6. I actually didn't play the story in 7. So I had to watch a YouTube video to catch up what was happening. The story mode, oh my gosh, it's some of the best storytelling in fighting, definitely in fighting games, but like in just games, period. Like this ranks up there, man. I really enjoyed playing through the story mode, playing the adventure mode, and of course, when you go online and you find your main, playing against other people is always fun. And the thing that's really great about this is it's so accessible. if you're a new player, there's actually I guess a easy, I forget exactly what it's called. But there's an easy mode where you can just press a button and the controls become much more simple for you. So, you can actually enjoy the game without being dominated the whole time until you like actually learn how to play better. So, accessibility, then it still has, the same I guess higher difficulty or whatever for veteran players. Um the graphics, of course, look amazing. I did like Jesus, they look so good. And the story mode, the arcade, like everything about the game, it just seems like this game was polished and polished and polished and polished until they had something that they knew was going to just please us and just exceed our expectations. This is something that was like the fans, I don't think you could have asked for more. This game is phenomenal. And yeah, I don't know if there's another game. I have to look at the schedule, but I don't know if there's another game that's going to come out that I will say is going to be better than Tekken 8. But yeah, so it's my top 5, guys. If I had to go 6, I would probably go with Immortality that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. What are your top 5? I'd love to hear what you guys have been playing so far this year. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.